right, guys, welcome to our preseason podcast, the first podcast of the year for K1, the fall season of 24. Welcome back. To my right, we have Mr. Bron Chabron. How you doing, my guy? Good to see you again. And to my far left, we got Mr. Peoples, man of the Peoples, Cortez Peoples. How you doing, my guy?
I'm doing well, sir. How you
You know
feeling?
what I'm saying? And we got a new guy here, but he's not so new. He know a lot of y'all. We got my boy Jonathan Muhammad, very, very active in the community, very opinionated as well, and somebody that does a really good job of analyzing and giving his best opinion on the league and stuff. So this is somebody I'm happy to bring along. Welcome you, my guy Jonathan. How you
Yes,
doing,
sir.
my boy?
Happy
We can
to
do
be
better
here.
on the handshake too. But all right, we're not gonna waste no time because we want to get straight into this. So we're gonna recap the end of last season where the Spurs are our champions. We'll clap it up for them. We'll give them what they need. Shout out to you guys for getting it done. Very poetic. They made it almost every season before this. I think 2 seasons in a row they made it to the championship. You can fact check me. They made it a bunch of seasons before, but they finally get it done. Mr. Peoples, we'll start with you. What do you think was the main factor in them getting over that hump and winning that championship?
I mean, Michael Bradford. Quan had a good season too. Just his shooting percentage was really, really good going down the stretch of the season, which helped them out a lot. But Michael Bradford was that person that they needed to get them over the hump. So yeah, Michael Bradford.
Mr.
The
Chabron,
one that's
yeah.
not. The one that's not.
The one that's not. Yeah, he's not here right now.
Yeah, same thing. The pieces they added that helped give relief. It's kind of Puda, because before Puda was scoring 28, 29 a game.
Mm-hmm.
That helped with that scoring load a little bit. And as you got to it, Sammy played amazing last
Sammy
season.
played amazing, especially in those last 2 games. He played amazing. Yeah, Sammy Hines stepped up his game for sure. He was pretty inconsistent in his role. I don't even think he knew what it is he needed to do for that team, but I think him finding out what it is he needed to do and sticking to that, I think he played that role very well last season. And he looked like he was in better shape too. So that's good. I know you know the Spurs very well, especially that team. What do you think about them?
I mean, the losses is gonna hurt them, but I don't like the fact that they got so many players coming back and they haven't mixed in a new set of players. I don't know who's being added to the team, but you know, when you come back with the same team in any sport, you know, you got all of those games of game film where somebody can come back and they can watch and see where you like to be and where you're comfortable at. So they definitely need to add somebody in there to mix it up. But I mean, until they beaten, they're the champs.
You hear me? I heard that. Well, for me, believe it or not, I think that Matt Cunningham was one of the biggest factors, especially given his stars a break in that first game, because you have to play back-to-backs on the final day if you want to win a championship. You have to win both games. Not necessarily back-to-backs, but you have to win 2 games in a row in order to win the championship, because it's 4 teams that make it to the final 4, obviously. Matt Cunningham hit several threes down the stretch, had some big rebounds, had some really big assists, great passes to basically give that team a lift and get over that hump. And then he was able to let Michael Bradford and Martavius Laster, Puda we like to call him, be able to give it all they had in that final game against Antonio Marshall, the Tyree Mosley, the Harry Marshalls. They had, they pretty much exposed the size that they didn't have on the Warriors by attacking the paint and finishing inside. And they just shot really well and played really well that game. So shout out to the Spurs for getting it done. Let's see if you guys can do it again. You're the champs until you beat. So they are the returning champs. And with that being said, we're going to go into the rosters. We're going to see what these guys are looking like. So we're going to go in numerical/alphabetical order. And we're going to start with the Sixers. I'm going to announce the guys that they have on this team. They have Brandon Berry, Brandon Cole, Donald Ellis, James Coleman, who was on the Grizzlies and going there, Jared Johnson, big pick for them. John Martin returning. Coach Jonathan Townsend. You got Josh Washington and you got Wally Watson. They have a 9-man roster. Usually it turns out that teams that have usually an 8-9-man roster have better rotations. Minutes usually get spread around a lot better. I'm gonna ask you, Brian, what stands out for this roster to you?
The addition of Jared Johnson stands out a lot, and James Coleman when he's there. I think they can help them, and they have a facilitator with Wally Watson now. Last year, I felt like what they lacked was a facilitator. There was a lot of just between Brandon. If he got the ball quickly up the court, he was taking a shot.
And Brandon Berry is that because we have a Brandon Cole now.
Yeah, oh yeah. So now, it seems like somebody that can facilitate the ball, get everybody else going. Donald Ellis stepped up late last season.
Very late. He did a good job though.
So if he continues on that role, they're looking pretty good.
What you got, Mr. Peoples?
I mean, they sitting in, I think, 4th place for me right now. But that's solely based on, like, if they're there. If they're there, like, they're going to be tough to beat. But if they're not there, they won't be tough to beat. I mean, it's just as simple as that. But, of course, you know, Brandon Berry, Jared Johnson, them two together, like, that's, like, crazy.
Yeah.
But hey, that is gonna be great. James Coleman, like that's gonna be big. John Martin, I seen him at the open gym the other day. Like
pretty good.
He's been getting to his bag a lot, so that's pretty good, man. Adding Wally, which is I honestly think this is the team that fits him the most.
I agree.
Because he's gonna be able to facilitate to these two offensively stouts, and Jared and Brandon, and it's gonna be pretty good. So hopefully they're there, you know, and we can actually see it. If they're not there, then it's just gonna be a regular 76ers team.
Brandon Cole is the standout for me.
You know him?
I've heard of him, and I have seen him on Facebook. I've seen like highlights kind of flash through my timeline.
He good?
Oh yes.
Oh well,
Oh,
shoot.
yes. Oh yes.
That makes
Oh
it
yes.
really
Yeah,
good.
Brandon Cole is definitely gonna show everybody that he can ball. He's a smaller guard. He's 6'1". He's a smaller guard, but he's 162 pounds. So like I don't want to call him small because he's 6'1", but 162 pounds is not large to be 6'1". But he's very shifty, really good shooter. He's just one of those guys that just has a natural gift for the game. You're just gonna see it. I'm not gonna say he's gonna go out here and put out outstanding numbers because we got somebody like Brandon Berry on the team who's gonna take a lot of shots. I don't know how that's going to coincide with each other, but like you said, if some people don't show up, then there's people that can step up on this team, which I do like. I do think that they lack a little bit of size because the only 3 bigs that they have is James Coleman, John Martin, and Josh Washington. But like we said, James Coleman hasn't shown yet that he shows up every game. Jared Johnson hasn't shown that he showed up every game. Jared Johnson's second tallest player on this team. He's a point guard. So like that's insane.
It sounds like leadership and like just team cohesiveness is what's going to get this team to win. I mean, like you're always going to be in any game when you got one of the best players in the game, and you know they have Brandon Berry. So, you know, like you said, you know it's going to be a top 4 team because you know they're going to always be in the mix with one of the best players.
And I agree. So we're gonna go into the next team. We have the Bucks. Oh, and shout out Jonathan Townsend for being a coach since this all started. He's still one of the coaches that's been here since the very beginning. And he's been a coach that actually does coach and puts himself second to his team. So I want to shout you out for that. That's not easy to do when you love the game as much as you do. So we're just gonna move on to the Bucks. This roster has always been pretty solid. I think they had 1 year where they didn't look good on paper, but they overachieved. I think that was 2 seasons ago. We were like, whoa, this team is the 4th, and they got the top 4 seed. Like, they get it by. That's insane. But they added Andre Robertson Jr., who I think this actually fits him. With Barrett Golden, they have who's coming back, stud. We have Ben Green, brother of Chris Green. We have Caleb Johnson, who's the coach. Gabe Rinchin. I have not heard of him. I don't know who he is, so I'm not going to say too much. We have Garrett Holder. Not sure who he is as well. They have LaVelle McIntosh as well. Really good friends with Andre Robertson Jr., so chemistry is there. Skylar Crudup, who was a late addition, but because the Thunder are no longer a team, so the Bucks were able to pick him up, and that is a sleeper because defensively he's nice. He was second in the league in assists, and he was second in the league in steals. So that's huge. And Tristan Swartz is also, I believe, he led the league in total assists because he played every game. some teams, I think people beat him in assists per game because they didn't play every game. But he led the league in total assists. So you have a lot of ball movement on this team, which they've always had. You have better defense on this team. LaVelle McIntosh can actually play his position. He was playing power forward for the Nets because they didn't have that size that they needed. So he's actually going to be able to play the 2 or the 3 and be able to score the ball much more effectively. With him, Skylar, LaVelle, Barrick, Tristan, defensively, this team is not going to lack. In the past, the Bucks defense was the question mark for me. I have no questions now about them defensively. So I think that they're going to be a top 4 team for sure. If not, they might fall to 5, but I think they're going to be top 4 for sure. I'm going to go back to you. Shabra.
They lost 2 big players with Cam and Nathan, but they gained with LaVelle and Andre Robinson now. So I'm excited to see this Bucks team. They was my pick last season and didn't work out the greatest for them at the end. In the playoffs,
You was a Thunder fan last season. Let's not, you know what I'm saying? Let's not forget that. We can pull the tape.
But yeah, I'm excited for this Bucks team. So they definitely gonna be contenders this year for sure.
Got it. What you think about it, Jonathan? Based on what you've seen so far?
Skylar Crudup was the rookie of the year last year, right?
I believe he was, yes.
Yeah. So that's nice. Andre Robinson, he's always about his defensive accountability. So I like him mixing in with this team. And like I said, man, this is gonna be a stout defensive team. And with defense, you can stay in any game. So yeah, this is gonna be a nice squad.
What you got, Mr. Peoples?
Gabe Retchen.
What about him? Nice.
Yeah.
Shooter?
God, shooter.
Ooh.
Probably second or third in all time at BB, scoring wise. Alex Retchen, Coach Retchen, that his son.
That's who Dubs was saying had the shot. Dubs said he got a curry on. That's what he said.
Yeah, and the kid drive like he's
6'2", 192
like
is what I'm seeing.
he's
195.
good. This team right here, it's gonna be tough because you got 2 good defenders in Barrick and Vale. That Vale can guard any position. Guard any position.
He can guard any position.
Any position. Barrick 3 to 5 maybe, but maybe 2 depending on who the 2 is. But anyway, Ben Green, we seen what he did last year.
Oh yeah,
So-
he came in and gave him a spark.
So like this team, like, and I think they're gonna be highly motivated. They top, they up there.
I think so as well. All right, we're gonna move on to the next team.
Oh shit, my fault. You ain't get it.
We have the Bulls.
OKC 2.0.
I don't even think that. I think they're worse than that, if I'm being honest.
This is
No,
Bulls
2.0.
reloaded with minus a couple points.
Yeah, they're missing Bobby Griffin-Kopic, who moved. Shout out to Bobby. Thank you for all what you've done for NK1.
Missing Nick,
They're missing Nick Crow.
huge
They,
loss.
I wish they could have got Cortez Buckner back. That would have helped this team out so much. They're missing They have Josh Marquez, who we know can be a point guard, but last season I don't think he had a really good season. We're just gonna go through the names. We're gonna say Benny Munoz, who we know as Benny Buckets. That man can score the ball at a high clip. Has won Player of the Week multiple times. Christian Straw, who we know can shoot the ball well and plays really a Swiss Army knife for this team. Rebounds the ball better than people give him credit for. Farrah Johnson, hustle energy guy. We got Ian Rogers. We have Jeremy Capper, who I like. We call him Mr. Efficient. The lefty doesn't miss anything inside 15 feet. Josh Marquez. We have Matt Wells, who I'm a fan of. Matt Wells. I like his game. I like his attitude. I like what he brings to the floor. I like what he brings to the team. Seth Johnson, who averaged 18 points and 11 rebounds a game last season. So we can call it a bounce back season for him, especially after him getting hurt. And then we have Sean Ord, who was on the Heat last season, exited the league not the way he wanted to or not the way we wanted to, but he's on this Bulls team as well. I guess you all could tell by how we started to talk about this team, how we feel about this team. I think this team took a significant step backwards. I think that they're missing a guard. I think they don't even have a power forward. unless you want to call Jeremy Capper a power forward, but he's listed as small forward. Sean Ward likes to play guard. He likes to play a smaller position, even though he's a lot longer. He's solid defensively around the rim. I don't see this team pulling out wins simply because I don't know where their buckets are coming from anymore. And I don't know who's going to put these guys in their spots. It's just hard to see from this roster. It's going to have to be a lot of stepping up and a lot of gut checking. A lot of pride is going to have to be put to the side, and they're going to have really specific roles. It's almost like, why is Derek White on the Team USA team? Because he plays his role. Stuff like that. Why is Drew Holiday on the Team USA team? Because he plays his role. It's going to have to be a lot of that for this Bulls to find their rhythm and find something. I'm looking forward to seeing what it is they can do. They play the Warriors first game, so we're gonna see something. That's all I can say. I'm gonna go with you, Mr. Muhammad.
Wow, I mean, I really don't know too much about any of these players to say anything, but man, based on the names, I mean, it looks like they're going to be relying on Benny Buckets.
Yeah. He said, "Hey, call him Benny Buckets. That's what we need to get buckets in."
Man,
he's gonna need a guard though. I don't think he's just gonna be able to bring up the ball and shoot it. He's gonna have to find his spots, or get found in his spots. We're gonna have to see. What you got, Mr. Peoples? If anything.
How many teams in the league?
How many teams? It's 12 teams.
That's what they are.
11.
12.
Oof. I tried. I tried. I didn't want to say 12.
12.
I mean, last year, despite what others may have felt, the team was just bad defensively. I think they gave up 75 points a game, which was like 15 or 20 more than everybody else in the league.
Mm-hmm.
And their saving grace was they were scoring at a high clip. So they can get some games out by just outscoring you, but they don't got that scoring this year. It's up for Seth and Benny to really carry that load. It seems like
I really think they're going to miss Bobby.
Yep.
I think they're going to miss Bobby a lot, rebounding and shooting the ball. I think they're going to miss him being able to space the floor for him. Capper's going to have to step up for sure. We're just going to have to see. We're just going to have to see what they can do. Hopefully they prove us wrong. Hopefully they can prove that they're not the worst.
overachieve.
Yeah, they're going to have to overachieve. Like, honestly, look, the only thing you can do is overachieve if you say you're last. So, no offense to any of these guys. Love all of these guys. But from what we see, I don't see how it's going to happen.
Use this season to recruit.
Yeah. We'll see what's going on. Next team, who I think have the most fire jerseys, even though it has nothing to do with the gameplay, the Celtics. They're going with the black and green this year. So that was always my favorite Celtics jersey. Fun fact, I had a championship Rondo black and green jersey. Ended up selling it on eBay for like $400.
Also come up.
Yeah, I ended up coming up. I think I paid like $190 for it or something like that.
Somebody wanted $400 for that?
Yeah. A Rondo jersey, championship jersey.
No, I'm just saying.
You know, black and red.
No,
Somebody wanted it. Hey, I came up. That's all I know. On eBay. They probably wanted to resell. But anyway, so we have Aaron Austin, we have Brian O'Connor, we have Cam Lincoln, CJ Link, we have Jay Kwasnicka, we have Johnny Williams, John Chepkovich, who I'm a big fan of, Josh Arsenault, and Zach Washington. I don't know 5 of these guys, and I've been in this league for 8 seasons now. I don't know Aaron Austin, I don't know Brian O'Connor, I don't know Johnny Williams, and that's it. Those are the 3 I don't know. We're gonna have to see where they go. I will say that CJ Link is looking like he's in great shape. Mr. Peoples may be able to attest to this. I don't know what his scoring is gonna look like. I'm not sure.
You don't know what his scoring gonna look like. You might well hang it up for the
Yeah, I don't
season.
know what his scoring gonna look like, but we played some scrimmages and his vision. I was liking his IQ. I was liking how he was looking up. He was looking for his teammates. He was playing basketball, making the right plays. He looks like he's in much better shape. He's lighter now, so he's down to he was like 210, I think, last season. He's 6'3", he's a bigger guy. He dropped down to 190. So he feels much lighter on his feet. He's jumping a lot higher. He's moving a lot faster. So defensively, he should definitely be able to guard more positions. I just want to see. I think that he can easily be the best player on his team, CJ Link. Everybody, I think, in the league knows what his capabilities are, but he just has to have that switch, that mentality to say, hey, I'm just gonna make this happen. I'm just gonna be better than you. You know, I don't care who's in front of me. I'm just gonna kill, and it's just gonna take a lot of that and a lot of coaching from Coach Josh. Jay Kwasnicker is still here. He's still a dog. He's still a good shooter. Still a good attitude. A lot older, so I don't know about the defensive end. They're gonna miss Ryan for sure. Easy double-double guy. 5-6 offensive rebounds a game. Hits at least 8 to 9 free throws a game to slow the pace down, get his team a breather.
Losing a 24-per-game score, and,
Yes.
and Ryan and Jared.
Yeah, losing Jared as well. They lost Brody too, so it's like, yeah, I'm not sure where the Celtics team is gonna rank. I want to say like 8 through 12. I would see. What you got, Shabron?
Yeah, that's why I got them in the definitely in the bottom half of the league in power rankings right now. It's a new look team. On what we got, CJ, Cam, and Jay. Only ones returning.
And John.
Yeah, John
John
Chepkovich is coming back. I think John, if he steps up, that'll be better. He'll be able to take more shots with this team. He's definitely good footwork, solid defensively, and he's no punk. If you hear the stuff he says on the court, you'll be like, oh, this guy ain't scared of nobody. So, and he doesn't even look like somebody that would talk the way he does. Like, he looks like a guy that might sell me a car. but like, that's no disrespect, but that's why I say I'm a big fan of his, because looks are deceiving. The guy's a baller.
But yeah, it's just consistency is going to be the key word for this team in order for them to succeed. Like Cam and CJ will have to be consistent every game for them.
Yeah, I agree. What you got, Mr. Peter?
I mean, they are going to be the Celtics. So I got, man. Like, I mean, I know Johnny. I know what type of player he is. He's an athletic player and things of that nature. I like the addition of Zach because he's like that do everything type of player. I don't know the Aaron Austin guy, but they're missing a point guard definitely, and they're missing size. Like, they're gonna get killed in the inside. I think. I mean, who's like, if they play the Warriors, shoot, Cortez killing all of them. Like,
Yeah, Cortez Banks.
like, when they play even the Bulls, like Seth is like, give me the ball inside, I'm going to work.
Yeah, they have no size.
I think they're gonna have to run, which is not the Celtic way. But I don't see them scoring a lot of points. Unless Aaron Austin and the O'Connor dude shows me, I just don't see it. I hope so though, because I actually like the Link brothers, and I hope they can have a come out season. But I mean, we've been waiting
I think,
We have been
for some
waiting.
time now.
I've been waiting on CJ.
I
Man.
think with the addition of JJ, they can push the pace a little bit more. He is a quick, athletic guard that likes to push the pace. So, but
Yeah.
Okay. Got anything like that?
Yeah, I mean, it just sounds like, you know, with the subtraction is going to create a lot of opportunity, and like you said, you know, waiting on the Link brothers so they step up and they could, you know, be a force to be reckoned with.
Yeah,
Until
Link.
then, I guess
You
the
know Johnny.
Celtics is the Celtics.
You know Johnny.
Johnny who?
Chris brother.
Oh yeah, for sure. Yeah.
Mm.
Yeah. I like it. He tough. He definitely got springs.
All right, we're gonna move to the next team, and that is the Grizzlies. This roster, we're gonna go in order. We have Aaron Lifschultz, we have Chad White Jr., we have Chris Lytle, we have Chris White, who's making a return. We have Dan Mitchell, Dominique McKinney. Dan Mitchell making this return as well. Me and John Hinchell commissioner make a joke about him being a Packers fan and him wearing that yellow under that Grizzlies, and he said it was abysmal. And ever since he said that, I've been putting that word in my my dictionary, using it in my vocabulary. So that abysmal yellow, but that's my boy Dan. Shout out to you. We got Ian Ogbomo, who I think overachieved last season in his role for the Grizzlies. Sent the Grizzlies to the next round with the buzzer-beating tip-in with his hustle. We have Jamario Brown. We have Jeremiah Mitchell, who was one most improved player last season. Definitely stepped up for the Grizzlies. And then you have returning, you have Kwani Blackman and Mark Connor, who came from the Hornets. I guess I'll start first since this is a team that's close to my heart. Shout out to the Grizzlies. I am not sure how the lineups are going to go, and I'm not sure who's going to excel in that point guard role still. That's what we've always said when it came to the Grizzlies. Chad White is an exceptional passer, but he's been known to turn the ball over a lot. If he can keep his turnovers down, I think that he can definitely play that role because he is listed at point guard here. So he's definitely trying to play point guard. Dominique McKinney is a point guard as well. Jeremiah Mitchell is looking to capitalize off last season to play a lot better. But you have a high-scoring guard like Mark Connor, who's really small forward, but he plays more a guard role. And Mark Connor, and then Kwani Blackman, who can be a lockdown defender when he's locked into the game. Very hard to score on. 6'3", about 185, 190 pounds, strong guy. Chris White he's probably the best player on this team if he's here. 6'6", can guard the paint, very good defensively. Nice mid-range jump shot, finishes inside very well. I just want to see how they put it together. So I'm gonna wait because we're gonna do this. By the way, we're gonna do this podcast after every 3 games, so we have something to talk about. So we can basically come and recap those. But after the next podcast, we'll see where the Grizzlies are. Mr. Peoples, what you think about this Grizzlies roster?
I don't know.
It's a question mark, right?
Because I don't know Aaron, Chris, or Dan. Well,
You know Dan Mitchell. Dan Mitchell played for us my first season. You came the second season
okay.
when I was after the Grizzlies. You weren't there the first season, but Dan Mitchell was there he was the first guard I picked in the first season. Pass first guard. Pass first. Very, very great vision. Like really, really good vision.
That's really what they need.
Yeah, but he's also supposed to be a knockdown shooter, and that season he didn't shoot so well. He didn't really have a good season that season. He'll admit it himself.
Is that Jeremiah's brother?
No,
Oh.
they're not related. But I went to high school with Dan, and I went to high school with Jeremiah. So I went to high school with most of these guys.
I like the Grizzlies this year. I think they're going to be highly motivated to get over the hump, especially like Kwani, Mark, and then especially if like Chris can be there in that bulky moment when they really need him.
Mm-hmm.
Like they can be really tough to get out. I mean, because they're going to be long and lengthy
And defensive.
and defensive minded. So I mean, I've always been the type of coach that I take defense over offense any day. However, as long as they can stop somebody like the Warriors, which is going to be very difficult, but like I like them. I like Mark and Kwani going back. I like Jamario. I mean, it's going to be interesting. I can't wait to see them Sunday so I can get a better understanding of them.
He put himself down as a small forward, 6 feet.
I mean, based on what I've heard about them, if they stick to their team principles, stick to their defense, they can do point guard by committee, and just spread the ball out, give different looks by having different people bring the ball.
That's
up.
what's been going on for the last few seasons. If we're
Right.
being honest, it was like it was different per game. Like Vashawn Sims last season was a big addition for us because he was able to play that point guard role, and he had a game where he had 41. I want to say. So,
But that's good though because there's no game film now. You can't
Yeah.
watch the previous game to find out what they're gonna do, how they're gonna run and play everything. When you leave it to a mystery, that's a great thing.
hard to scout.
Yeah, hard to scout.
How you feel, Shabron?
I don't see much improvement in the Grizzlies, but that's not a bad thing because they ended the season well last season. They got the ball rolling. It started off rocky, but they ended up getting the ball rolling. Obviously losing Bashan, but getting back Kwani and Mark Connor can make up for that loss. So
I think with Jeremiah Mitchell having the confidence
yeah.
and getting most improved, you know, the team trusting in him to have the ball and make decisions
Yeah.
with the ball in his hand,
I think
that's going to help the team out a lot.
if he didn't foul out in that playoff game, I think that was a win for the
Yeah.
Grizzlies.
Well, no, we won that game.
Oh, you did?
Yeah, that was the first game. We won that first game. But it came down to a tip in from Ian. So it like I said, that definitely hurt us. Him foul trouble is his biggest thing for me. But I won't even think he fouling. He just strong. He just strong. But it is what it is. I won't be biased. You got to stop fouling. You got to stop. There's a lot of things you got to stop doing. But like I said, most improved. We'll go to the next team. We're going to the Hornets. And this team definitely added some guys. They have Blake Graham, Brian Hernandez, who is a stud. We have Darian Bosby, who went from the Heat last season, and we know this guy can get buckets with the best of them. David Stevenson is the coach. We got Keon Lane. We have Laren Pendleton, they call him Quarterhead, number 25. We got Maurice Terrell, Big Reese. You got Otis Houston, Quill Marshall.
Point guard.
Yeah, point guard, Otis Houston. We got Quill Marshall, and we got Ronnie Jackson. I think this team added some experience, for sure. Some guys that know how to set things up. Some down the stretch guys, for sure, with Ronnie Jackson. I love Ronnie Jackson down the stretch. One of my favorite players to watch when the game is close, when you need a bucket, when you need something. The guy can miss all game. When it comes to them last 2 minutes, he's making the right choices, making the right decisions. He's extremely vocal. Maurice Terrell, his energy, especially when he came off the bench for the Nets, was huge for them. Because he was able to go out there and give it all he had. But they have scorers like Brian Hernandez, Darian Bosby. Blake Graham can give you some buckets too. Quill Marshall is actually going to be able to play his role with this team and not feel so secluded with a lot of guards around him. So, I mean, the biggest question mark always is Otis Houston and his role. What is he going to do for this team? How is he going to help this team when he's on the floor? How often is he going to play? What lineups does he match up with? I personally think that I like Otis when teams play zone because he can get to that middle and he can kind of make something happen, like especially with his vision and his passing. I think if he is knocking his shot down, if the shot is falling, I think that does help that team. But we got to see it happen. I'd like to see him in better shape. You know, I think if he can get up and down the floor a lot more, it would definitely help this team out. And when he isn't getting up and down the floor, just kind of swallow that pride and check in, check out.
Yeah. Take yourself out the game.
Yeah, I think he definitely can be more effective if he plays himself correctly.
Definitely stayed in too long in a playoff game and shot them out the game.
I think that's just gonna come down to pride and ego. If he can swallow that, I think he could definitely be better for this team. But when you have Brian Hernandez in there, I don't think that. I think he's a ball dominant guy. Brian Hernandez is, so I don't think Otis is gonna have the ball as much. Maybe when he's sitting, or maybe when he's not out there. I think this team definitely is more well-rounded. I don't think they have any size. They are lacking in size. They lost Latrell Tidwell. They do not have him, and that was big for them. Mark Connor, with his size, he did a good job rebounding for them last season. And actually, if you watch this, Mark, you know what I mean by this, but he actually played defense. Mark actually played defense last season, and it was actually able to help his team out. So, absolutely. So Mark, they're gonna miss him and what he did for them. How do you feel about it, Mr. Muhammad?
I definitely like Quill Marshall. You know, this is my guy. He real competitive.
Very.
They got some big bodies, even though you're not, counting them as an actual big man.
Yeah.
But it seems like this team's best chances to win is to control the pace of the game.
Mm-hmm.
I would probably say more so slow it down with the three big bodies. Like, you got three guys on the team that's, over 250 pounds. So slow down the game, bring it down to your pace, and control the game in that aspect. And that give you your best chance to win.
I didn't know Maurice Terrell was 260. That's a big guy. For him to move the way he does, that's a big guy.
Yeah, they got some big bodies on
It's
the
a
team.
big body. So yeah, I think that you're right. Pace is definitely gonna come down to it. How you feeling, Cortez? About
I
this
mean,
roster?
I heard some good things about Keanu Lane.
Mm-hmm.
He's one of Bryant's old running mates when he was at IWU.
Okay.
So I'm pretty sure he's pretty solid.
6'3", 170.
Yeah. So I'm kind of concerned though about Bryant, 6 foot 220.
He does
I
seem a
know
little heavy.
he's not 6 foot.
Brian is 6 feet.
Yeah.
He's like 5'11" and a half, 6 feet. He taller than me. I'm 5'10". So
But again, with the defensive side, like Bryant, even playing here, like I never deemed him as a good defender. I mean, it's been games where people just blew past him, even in the zone. Like I remember that one play it was because of him that they lost because he didn't play good defense. So I
Right.
mean, I don't know if y'all remember that.
that's for the Bucks, right?
Yeah, when he
Yeah, I
played with the
remember.
Bucks.
I remember.
I think the Hornets will be better than last year because
After losing Kawhi and
I do only because of how other teams are set up now.
okay.
And because of like Maurice Terrell,
No Mook.
and Ronnie. I mean, you trade Mook for like a Blake Graham. And Blake is on like.
Blake is nice. No, Blake when Blake is on, he's on.
And then, of course, Dan Bobby, So, yeah, I mean, I think they're going to be solid.
I think they're definitely going. It looks like an improvement from last season. I think the cohesiveness might be a little bit more better, which was their issue last season. I think we'll come in with better guard play. It just all comes down to substitutions. Really,
Yeah.
that's it.
Yeah, let's see what these rotations looking like in these lineups. I think that's a couple teams right now. Especially the Sixers, we got to see that lineup, and then the Hornets with that lineup, we'll see how that works.
Who's willing to take that back seat?
Yeah, I think we all know who it needs to be, but is it gonna happen? We're gonna go to the next team, and guys, before I even say anything, I scrimmaged this team this past Sunday morning before the coaches meeting, and they shot the lights out. When I say they didn't miss, I'm talking contested jumpers. I'm talking swinging the ball, and they've never played together. They wanted to get out on the court to see what it would be like playing NK1 and playing together. When I tell you they played so cohesive, moving the ball, defensively they might be able to be a little better. They have good hands and they're active on defense, and they played man. They never played the zone. They never played anything like that. So I think that this team is going to be really, really good if you don't guard them correctly. You're not going to be able to zone them because they can shoot the ball so well. But we got Addison Bode, who I seen, swaggy player. You could tell, like some people, he played with brothers. You could tell he played with some brothers before. Really good jump shot, nice jumper. Andre Doc. Now this guy was lights out in tryouts. Hit about 12 threes in that scrimmage game. Wouldn't miss. You got Braxton Hart, you got Camden Figgins, you got Cameron Davis, who's the coach and captain. My guy got a haircut, so he looked a little different. I couldn't recognize him. You got Carson Hale, you got Christian Summers, who is their best shooter. This guy didn't miss anything. I think he missed 1 3, he hit 7 of them. So either we were bad defensively or they just couldn't miss. It was one or the other. We got Josh Padilla, we got Justin Patterson, who was in the tryouts. This guy is a stud. This guy can jump out the gym. This guy can play really good defense. He gets blocks. He's in the lanes. He's gonna get fast breaks. He's unselfish, and he's very hungry. I asked him. I said, "Hey man," I said, "Welcome to the league. Like, you happy to be here?" He said, "Brother, I've been waiting for this since January." So he's hungry. So that's something you always want to see. You got Lane Thompson and Zach Olsen. Zach Olsen played for the Bucks last season. Really good role player. Came in, did what he had to do, and sat down. Really good guy on the bench, somebody that's going to tell his team what it is they need to do. Lane Thompson is the only question mark for me because he's their only big guy. Cam Davis is going to be their leading rebounder, if you ask me. He's a great rebounder, great defender. But Lane Thompson, he can't miss those bunnies. He's 6'7". When he gets close to that rim, he has to be aggressive. When he gets those open threes, he has to take them because he can knock down the jumper. If Lane Thompson is aggressive and he's getting teams to be able to collapse inside, he'll open that up for all of those shooters, and it'll be lights out for them. They'll be able to beat anybody in this league. Like I said, if I didn't see it for myself, I wouldn't say anything. But I think that the Kings definitely have a chance to be one of the top teams in the league with the roster that they have. They just have to be as cohesive as they were in that scrimmage that we played. How do you feel about this?
I don't have much to say because I don't know most of these players, but I couldn't really decide where to rank them because I don't know them. But I felt like I had to put them somewhere in the middle. But I don't think Cam would surround himself with people that are bad. So I think they have the potential to be good. Big Country's gonna have to definitely step up and definitely help out with them boards with Cam.
Big Country Lane Thompson definitely got to help out a bit. I think it's on the offensive end more than anything. I think he has to just be able to be a force. He don't even have to average a lot. Like, give me 8 points, give me 4 baskets inside, so that way they have to send help. And now the shooters are just gonna have a field day. Like, they have shooters for sure. Everybody on this team can shoot. Like, every one of them. None of them. Like, every last player on this team can shoot the ball. So that's gonna help them in their favor. How you feel, Mr.
I mean, like Brian said, I don't think Cam will surround himself around people that can't play and that know the game, like has a basketball IQ. So I'm looking forward to him. I forgot who they played this
First
season.
game against the Timberwolves.
Yeah, so maybe we'll see him Sunday.
We'll see him Sunday.
Yeah, I'm not too familiar with these players either, but I mean, if that team camaraderie and you know what I'm saying, if they bring that over from the scrimmage that you're talking about and they're able to shoot as well as you said, they're gonna be all right in life.
For sure. All right, next we have the returning from 3 seasons ago, the Knicks. Coach Quan Shaw has this team, and I'm gonna clap it up. We got my boy Marcus Pope back in the league. They freed my boy. Shout out Marcus Pope. Hope you're doing well, my guy. I'm happy to see you Sunday. So with this team, we have BT, Brian Tanzi, one of my guys. We have Chris Anderson returning to the league. We have Kamari Hodges, who you know who that is, right?
I think.
Okay, I thought you knew something about Kamari. Then we have Kendall White. We have LJ Harris, who's a stud. We know. Marcus Pope, like I said, Quan Shaw, Rob Anderson, Chris Anderson's brother, and we have Taiwan Howard. I think that this team, with LJ present, can win any game because they have size, they have shooting, they have guards, they have wings. They have everything it takes. But can they play together? LJ is not known to be a passing guy. Quan is known to be kind of a black hole when he gets the ball down low. But when he did have his own team the last time, he basically did everything. And I think he's out here. He's been in the gym too. He's looking good. So as far as that weight room, so it's looking like he's trying to get back to that and prove to people that he belongs and he's a top player in this league. Because at one point he was an all-star. He was an all-league player. I think he got 3rd team all-league before. And I will mention once before. So Quan Shaw definitely can be that guy. Yeah, we just got to see. We just got to see how the Knicks do it together. How you feel about it?
Well, I seen that LJ was 3rd team, and then he was 2nd team the year before. Really good guy. I think he gonna have to carry this team based on what I know of him. And he got the skill set to do it. Like, he a really good player.
LJ was on pace to be MVP. When I'm telling you, if he would have played every game this season, he would have
That's
won
my
MVP.
guy. You know he is.
He 100%. In 6 games, he was 50, 40, 90. No, he was 60, 40, 90. He was shooting 60% from 3, 50% from the field, so 50, 60, 90. He was lighting it up early to start the season for the Nets, and I think they were undefeated when he played. So it was until he had some stuff going on where he couldn't show up. It just was tough for them. Shabron, how you feel about this next team?
I think on paper they look really good. I got them 5th in my power rankings. It's just, can they put it on the floor?
Yeah, can they?
Yeah, but I think the team looks really good and definitely cannot be slept on. This might be my
No sleeper?
Maybe.
It's gonna be your Thunder.
Maybe.
What you got going on, Mr. Peoples? How you feel about this Knicks roster?
Rob Anderson, 6'8", 290.
Rob Anderson.
Chris Anderson, 6'4", 285.
I could 6'8", 290 maybe, but 6'8".
6'8" will put him at the tallest person in the league.
Yeah, let me say.
Negative.
Seth Johnson.
Listen, man. With ILJ, you know how they talk about how the NBA used to be back in the day, like a bunch of plumbers.
Oh gosh.
That's exactly what
Who's the point guard if Phil Jay's not there?
They bring
Got
in
Tyrone
John.
next to that point guard.
They gotta bring in John. You know who John is? Stockton.
Ja.
Gotta bring in John or something because
Quan did it. Quan did it for him
Man.
last season. That one season, average 8 assists a game when he did it.
Go ahead, double.
Make him cough it up.
Mm-hmm.
I guess.
And like just the endurance. Like, yeah, I know LJ is gonna be endurance. Yeah, I know Quan is gonna be endurance. Mark is just naturally
He's naturally energetic.
right. But like everyone else, like I don't know who Kendall White is, but if I'm looking at this, I'm like, yeah.
All right.
Even with LJ,
We're gonna have to see. We're gonna have to see. All right. Next, we have the team that's always the smallest team in the league, but they find a way to get done. And this year they're even smaller than they've ever been, and that's the Lakers. We have Andre Robertson Sr. We have Antonio Brooks. We have Devontae Barnes. We have Rashawn Isom. We have Joshua Lawson. We have Kentrell Matthews. We have Marcus Gibbs. We got Jacoby Lamb, and we got Terrell Hendricks, who has been MVP multiple times in this league. I feel like if you have an MVP caliber player, you always have a chance. I don't think Terrell has been on any season Terrell has played. He hasn't had a losing record. He's always been top 4. He hasn't fallen out of the top 4 anytime he's played. So I think it's except last season. Did last season they get the 5th seed?
What were they for?
No, because they played the Thunder. No, the Thunder beat the Lakers that first game and then played someone else after. So the Lakers, I think, fell right out of the top 4. I think last season they were 5th because I forgot exactly what happened, but he hasn't had a losing season. I'll say that much.
They were 5th.
They were 5th, right? They fell just out of the top 4 because it's 5 plays 12, and the Thunder were 12, right? That makes sense. So, Rashawn Isom is definitely going to be a big impact for this team with his shooting ability. Can shoot the skin off the ball. But one thing I want to talk about is Devontae Barnes having a bigger role now. He in open gyms, stud. The guy makes a lot of 3 balls. The guy gets a lot of tip ins. The guy gets a lot of rebounds. But the real story for me is Antonio Brooks. He took a backseat last season because he had a lot of guys that wanted the ball, and he kind of stayed quiet. But I saw on his snap today, he said 3 days away. The man's counting down the days until Sunday. Even in the coaches meeting, he told Coach Josh Arsenault, like, oh, you want to make a bet? He said, the person that win this game, you got to clean the whole gym. Like, he's making bets over this thing. So, like,
listen, man, he been doing that for years.
I'm just
Bring
saying,
it to
man.
the table. I'm calling you out, Antonio. Bring something. Last year was supposed to be your year, but now you saying this year gonna be your year. Well, next year.
Look at the roster.
What's next year gonna be?
I mean, look at the roster is what I'm saying. Last year, their roster was pretty good.
I mean,
They had a pretty good roster last year.
Kentrell is good.
Yeah, but I'm talking about none of those guys are ball dominant.
I got faith in you, Tom. It sounds like
None of those guys are ball dominant.
Not taking
The only people that's going to have the ball in their hands is Terrell and Tone. That's what I'm saying. Those are the only 2 ball handlers that they have.
Hey.
So I think Tone has the opportunity this season to do so.
Well,
He just got to do it. He just got to do it.
I'm waiting, Tone. You already know me. I'm waiting.
Hey, we're gonna have to see. What you feel about him?
The team looks like they went down a little bit from last season, but I can never count the Lakers out. They always find a way to get it done.
Always.
So it'd be interesting for them this season.
The worst part to me about the Lakers is down the stretch. They always struggle down the stretch because Terrell Hendricks can be a gun at times. I think he's added more to his game. He always adds more to his game. I saw him shoot a no-dip three and make it from like almost. It was like, I'm like, never did you just like not even load your legs and shoot this three ball like. But he's really young. I think he's 21 or 22 or something like that. So like he's continuing to get better. He's getting more athletic. He plays basketball almost every day. So like I'm looking forward to seeing what he added to his game, because being the MVP of a league and still getting better shows how much you love the game and how much you want to improve. And with this roster here, they're gonna need everything from you to be every night. He can easily be a 25, 26 point per game scorer, and he has. Terrell Hendricks. Oh yeah, he's gonna put that ball in the basket. You're not gonna stop him from doing so. And his jump shot has gotten tremendously better over the season. So it's one of those things where like he just has to do it.
And he's always leading the league in steals.
Oh, he's been defensive player of the year and MVP. Like steals and blocks. He leads his team in almost every category. Like, yeah, I think he did. Points, rebounds, steals, and blocks. He led his team in all four. So yeah, he's a stud when he wants to be. I think it just has to translate to winning this year. Based on what we said, how you feel, Mr. Muhammad?
I really like the squad. Like, you know, I know Tony's a really good dude. He got a little bit of everything to his game, and I just think that, like you said, he took that step back last season. As long as he come in and owns his role, he's going to be, you know, one of the primary ball handlers. And they're going to have to set this up, but they're really small. So, I mean, this is going to be a you know, David and Goliath matchup, every matchup type of situation. So, but
They only have two guys listed at point guard here, and that's Joshua Lawson and Marcus Gibbs. We've seen Marcus Gibbs. I haven't seen much from him. I'm not really sure, based on what I've seen from him, what he excels at on the court. So I'm looking forward to seeing what he can show me, or show us, should I say. But Joshua Lawson is listed at point guard. He's 6'4". So if they got a 6'4" point guard able to get these guys going, and if they can just rebound the ball and get out in transition like they do and run it up, because this team could be great defensively. They have always led the league in steals. So it's one of those things where like they get to it, they're just small. You know, so if they have somebody like a Seth Johnson, somebody like Jeremiah Mitchell, who's gonna pound the ball in the paint where they don't have a lot of size. Somebody like even Antonio Marshall with his strength, driving to the paint, causing havoc for them, having a jump shot on top of that. Like, it's just something that they have to get over. Like, they're gonna have to figure it out, especially down the stretch.
It's just that defense gets them out on fast breaks, and they be getting on that rim.
They Showtime for real. We're gonna see a lot of lobs for sure. Not as many as last season, because they don't have as many high flyers, but Terrell Hendricks is definitely going to get him at least one a game.
Tomahawk T.
Yeah, Tomahawk T. And he got a left-handed dunk up, and I'm looking forward to seeing what he's going to bring to them.
yeah, I'm excited to learn like the players in the league, so I can really put my opinion.
Oh,
out
by the second podcast, you're gonna have a lot to say.
there.
You're gonna have a lot to say.
I can't wait. Man.
So now we're gonna talk about the defending champions, Spurs. They had a big addition over the summer in Devin Finn. They have they have another rim protector. Is Trey Johnson on this roster? He is. So they have Trey Johnson and Devin Finn. If they can have them both in at the same time, me oh my. And Devin Finn being able to shoot the way he does, definitely going to help this team stretch the floor. But Dennis Coger, Devin Finn, you got Jeremy Davis, you got Jameer Hines, you got Martavius Laster, you got Coach Matt Cunningham, you got Octavius Davis, you got Phil Andrade, who struggled a little bit last season, I think, as far as scoring the ball, but his impact on the floor, as far as his hustle, as far as getting to the ball, as far as the offensive rebounds, as far as extra possessions, like those things helped him out. And then you have Trey Johnson as well. So I think defensively, I think scoring the ball, Jameer being there as well to shoot the ball, I think the Spurs still have a chance to be good because they play cohesively. If they play anything, and they're missing Sammy. They're gonna miss Sammy for sure. Because Sammy was a guy that guarded power forwards or centers at times, but also can get out there and guard your guards. So being a Swiss Army knife on defense for him, like Marty Bothwell was, if you guys remember who Marty was. Marty was a heck of a player. I've never played with him. I played in the open gym with him one time when I twisted my ankle when I was playing point guard. He took over the point guard role and excelled. It was like, wow. And then we needed rebounds. He got down there and rebounded. It was like, Okay, that's what I think that that's what I think he can be for them. I think Octavius Davis, I think he's also the sleeper for them. He's always been a sleeper for them. Always been a sleeper for them. Like, you never really account for him when you think about the stars on his team, but the guy does a lot of things on the court that helps teams win. Even when he was by himself, when they didn't have those guys, the guy was averaging almost 20 points a game. So it's like, and he's jumping out the gym too. Like, he's getting up there, still getting on that rim. So I like this Spurs team. I like to watch them play. I like the intensity that they play with. I like Matt Cunningham. I just like them. So
easily, this is my favorite team. I mean, I know the most players on this team out of all the teams so far. Dennis got a little bit of everything to his game.
Absolutely.
Devin is a great rim protector. He led the league in blocks his rookie season. Martavius Laster, Puda, he's gonna be MVP candidate. He's the front runner to MVP to me. Ak is, he come from a long line of hoopers. G Davis is incredible, and he always got a great team oriented feel for the game. So like this is a great team. Yeah, this is my front runner right here.
Yeah.
This is my front runner right
Wait till
here.
we get to the other roster.
Ain't gonna roll you.
Just wait. Just you wait. What you got, Mr. Peoples?
I mean, they're Spurs to me. I mean,
What does that mean?
They always look good.
They always look good, right?
I mean, they got great pieces. I mean, adding Devin is cool. Adding Jameer is cool.
Did they have Jameer last year?
No, he was with Boston last
He's
year.
with the Celtics, correct.
I just think missing Micah is gonna really change the
Mike
dynamic
Hansen.
because now moments where the ball wasn't stuck in Puda's hands, it was in Micah's hand.
Mhm.
Now it's gonna be stuck in Puda's hands, and that was the reason why we was like, yeah, Micah's here now. They don't have to stick it. He can play the 2 guard. He can play off
And Mike was more facilitating than Puda was.
Now they don't. They don't have that facilitator that they really need. And honestly, you want to go by numbers. Yeah, I mean, well, not numbers, but like personnel. Like, who are you gonna play? Like, who Phil with Trey with that? Like, someone is gonna not like they. Well,
Trey's coming off the bench.
Yeah, Trey. He. I think he done made it up in his mind.
He just want, if he's Matt is his boy. That's all. Him and Matt Cunningham are like this. So Trey's just showing up because he wants to be around basketball. His ego is not in this at all. I had a conversation with him. I went out one day and I met Trey outside. I never go outside in Kankakee. And the first time I go out, I see Trey, and I'm like, my boy, like, what's up? And I asked him about, we talked about, a bunch of stuff in the league. All we talked about was basketball, what it was. And he basically was like, brother, like, I love the game, but I've done all of this already. I've played overseas. I've dunked on big men. I've hit threes in games. I've averaged 20 a game. I've averaged 5 blocks a game. Like, I've done that all already. This is a church league to him. And really, Matt Cunningham is his boy. Like, and he says, I'm just going wherever Matt goes. Like, I'm not playing for nobody else. Like, I just want to be here around him. And the guy parties hard. You know what I'm saying? Like, he goes out every Saturday night and shows up Sunday, sometimes feeling good, sometimes not. You know what I'm saying? But the guy just wants to be around. So whatever he can do to help this team win, if it means come off the bench and give him what he got and then sit back down, he'll allow Devin to sit there and play those minutes. Phil is definitely going to play a lot harder than I think Trey would. You know what I'm saying? So I think that makes them more lethal with, oh, you're going to sit Phil? Come on, Trey. Oh, you're going to sit Devin? Come on, Trey. Like, I think that helps them out a lot. I'd rather him come off the bench than Devin or Phil come off the bench. Yeah, so I mean, the projected starting lineup to me would be Puda, Jameer, Dennis. Puda, Dennis, Octavius, Devin, and Phil. I think that's the projected starting lineup for me that I think makes the most sense because that's high energy right there. You have shooters, you have people that get to the paint, you got rebounders, you got defense. Like, I think that they have good lineups. I think everybody that can be replaced with the next person is pretty good. I like this team. But anybody else? Anything else to say? What you got?
They look good as always. It's just finishing, so they can Get a repeat and get it done.
See if y'all can get that free entry again next season. They sure didn't have to pay. Well, some of them had to pay. I think Jameer did because he came from the Celtics, and Devin did too. But we're gonna go to another new team in the league, the Timberwolves. Ooh, all right. So we have Ben Mackey, we have Edgar Townsend, who played for the Pistons when AP was the coach. We have Garrett Stilts. We have Gerald Duckworth, who we know can ball, but when he did play in the league, he didn't play so well when he played for the Spurs. But we know he can play much, 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 much better. We got Javaron Criswell. We have Jacquees Springer. We got Coach Keyshawn Williams. Shout out Coach Keyshawn Williams, it's your first year coaching. We got Taj Talley, who I know, this guy's a bucket, honestly. Like, he's a little guy. I don't know how he'll do in the league necessarily, but I know he can put the ball in the rim. Like, he can shoot the ball. He has a floater out of this world. Yeah, his floater's really nice. Really quick with the ball in his hand. Good ball handler. But he's really small. That's really his only downfall. I just would like to see what he could do in the league. We got Tyrone Ball, and then we have the Binion brothers. We have Darian and Jaquan Binion, red and black. Red is supposed to be playing, but Black, I don't think he's going to return from what I'm hearing. Which is Jaquan Binion. Personal opinion, 10, 11, or 12. I don't see this team getting past the top 10. I just don't see how it's going to happen.
It just look like the Thunder.
Yeah.
So, just a young
Ben
team.
Mackey is 6'11".
He's 6'8", 6'9". Unless he grew 3 inches over the past year.
How old is he?
He 19.
Oh, he probably could. He could have.
Yeah.
He's 19. I stopped growing at 21. So,
When he played with us in AAU, he was 6'8".
okay. Also, he played with you, so you know his game. Edgar Townsend, energy guy. Really good dude. But this ain't about personality. It's about what you do in the court. Javon Criswell, energy guy as well. Decent IQ. Somebody that understands the game. You know, I remember he won the Thunder game, but like, hey, how many fouls we got left? Hey, fouled them so they don't shoot a three. Fouled them so they had to shoot 2 free throws so that way they couldn't shoot a 3 to win the game. Like, it was a very smart play, and they missed one of the free throws, so that won them the game. Just small stuff like that. Gerald Duckworth, if he shows up and plays well, he's gonna do well for them. Jacquees Springer has improved every season he's played, if you ask me. When he gets a better role, I think he settles for jump shots too often. I think he's too athletic to be shooting the ball as much as he does, but I think that he can definitely be a better impact on this team if he gets more comfortable. But if Red can play, we know Red can score with the best of them. He gets to the free throw line at will because he's just strong with the ball. Like, he does that Derrick Rose cuff when he kind of gets in that paint. You know what I'm saying? Because he definitely gave us issues, the Grizzlies issues last season when we played them. He shot 5 for 15, but he had, I think, 19 points. You know what I'm saying? Because he got to that free throw line and made a lot of free throws. So they got a lot of guards here. They only have one big man. I don't know how that's gonna work for them, but I just don't see them being better than 10 teams in this league.
Yeah, I'm not very familiar with the team, but you know, another one of the teams we're looking forward to see him play. And
They play first. They play the Kings. 2 new teams, so we'll get to see them knock them out the way. And I believe the Timberwolves is one of those teams that play at 12 o'clock every week. They're just one of those teams. Like, we always have a team that's like that due to scheduling or due to like making sure they show up or whatever. So they will be playing the first game every week. If they can prove to be winners, you know what I'm saying, then that may change.
Mhm.
You know, but we don't really know how that's gonna go with how the offseason went, with how teams did things. Shabron, how you feel about this Timberwolves team?
Man, it look like the Thunder of previous years, to be honest. It's like you said, bottom 3 team in the league. Yeah, I don't see much improvement from the Thunder this year to this team, really. I guess Ben will replace Devin, but he don't have the shooting capabilities that Devin has, but he is a good rim protector. Definitely has a motor on defense. He has a good IQ for the game.
That's good.
That's for sure. But he's a shot there unless he developed it over the past year. Which I don't know. But.
We'll have to see. We're gonna have to see. Mr. Peoples, man, the Peoples.
Well,
Timberwolves. What you feel about them? What about them?
I mean, pick 11 or 12.
You just said the Bulls was 12.
Well, guess they gotta be 11 then. I mean, I just don't see them putting up more points than have more than the other 10 teams.
Yeah, where's the scoring coming from is my
Yeah.
thing. Defensively, maybe, because Keyshawn Williams plays
You have to
defense.
run. This
You
team
would pick
has
them against the Bulls?
Huh?
You would pick them against the Bulls?
I
I
might.
would have to see how Bulls are week 1. If they still scoring at a high clip, I'll pick the
Seth
Bulls.
Johnson
Only because
Seth
they
Johnson.
actually match up pretty good. Because you're gonna have Seth
With Ben,
with Ben, you have
Benny,
Benny.
with Dubs can guard Benny. Or Gerald can guard Benny.
if the Benny brothers is there, I'm picking the Timberwolves.
Yeah.
But if they not there, it's gonna be. I wouldn't even say it's gonna be a decent game, but I mean it's gonna be
A close.
down to the wire type of game.
What do you think is going to go 37-38 final score?
I mean, if it go 37-38, bro, they might as well just don't come back no more. Like, but
It's a joke, guys.
no, I'm actually serious. But
Maybe I'll say 48-49. I won't say 37-38.
I just don't know where the scoring gonna come from.
I don't know
From
either.
this
We gotta
Timberwolves
see.
team.
We got to see.
Gerald, to me, on this team, Gerald will have to average like 20.
18 to 20.
Like
Red will have to average like 18 to 20. Like they're gonna have two 20-point per game scorers.
Yeah, I
Just
mean,
to stay
Jacquees was having
afloat.
what, about 18 to 20 last season, wasn't he?
I think Jacquees averaged 16 a game. 14, I think 15 a game if I'm being honest. I could look. We could definitely look at Jacquees' numbers from last season, but
if they able to play together, like I don't know who this Tyrone Ball person is, but like he's 235 and he's 6'1", so
playing small forward. Yeah, well, that's the Wolves, guys. We'll have to see. We don't know much about them because, like I said, they was kind of slapped together.
Oh, he averaged 10 points a game last
He averaged 10 points a game last season. Oh yeah, so that's I
Maybe
don't
he
know.
slowed down. At the beginning of the
Who?
season, he was averaging.
Jacquees, he averaged 10 points a
yeah,
game.
that's it.
Yeah, I thought he was averaging almost 20.
Because I think the other season he averaged 13 or 14
So
points a game.
the season before last is when he had a good.
Yeah,
season.
that's when he had his good season. And that was the season that they didn't really win like that. He still was playing well, you know. They were still Showtime, which is crazy. Like the Thunder were fun to watch.
Mm-hmm.
Like they weren't winning, but they were so fun to watch. Like
Everybody was rooting for him.
So-
I enjoyed watching them play.
Turned out.
I enjoyed watching them play. Maybe because I was rooting for them to play well. It was just it's like we put our parlay in on the Thunder every week, and that's what made it fun to watch. Like we were doing our over unders for them, and we were just hoping that they hit them. Like that's probably what made it interesting.
Like,
But,
we want them to be good at this. It's just they just
I
haven't
guess the
been
over under is
good.
gonna be
Yeah.
for the Bulls this year.
oh my
They
god,
just, well, I won't say they haven't been good. It was just came down to late game situations.
Where they had
just,
nothing.
Just IQ late game situations. Where
fouling and hacking
fouls,
and
turnovers,
offensive fouls and
like not
turnovers.
knowing when to slow the game down.
And then arguing, like when they had Antonio Dyson that season, toward the end of the season is when they got hot and they beat that Lakers team.
Mm-hmm.
So it was interesting.
Same thing. Same woes with them as it was with the 76ers. It was just can't close the game out.
It makes
Like,
sense.
They'll be in the game, but you just can't close it out.
Makes sense to me. Well, now we go back to the runner-ups of the championship game last season, the Warriors. The final team we're gonna go over. We have Antonio Marshall. We have the new addition Brody Gonzalez. We have returning Brooke Schoen. We got Charlie Hall. We got Cortez Baines, who's returning to the league. We have Aaron Hall. Is it the second? Is it two? Is it junior? I don't know. Aaron Hall the second, brother. No, Aaron Hall too. I put some respect on your name. We got Harry Marshall, one of my favorite people. We got Lonzel Mason. We got Miko Sullivan Sr., who's returning. I like to see him still playing with him. New addition, big addition, Nick Crow. We have Tyree Mosley, and we have somebody that went from the Hornets and came to the Warriors, Latrell Tidwell, and I think that takes them over the top. I think that easily makes this the best roster in this league. I don't think any team can match up with them as far as experience, as far as shooting, as far as size, as far as rebounding. Now that they have defense and rebounding to go along with that high scoring clip, it's going to be super hard to guard these guys if they all show up. I don't know how you're going to guard Antonio Marshall, Brooke Schoen, Miko Sullivan, Brody Gonzalez, just Latrell inside banging. You still got Nick Crow who can give you buckets. Nick Crow can give you 17, 18 a game. along with 10, 12 rebounds. Before he got hurt, he was probably on pace to averaging that double-double, that 18 and 15. He was like 16 rebounds a game.
Yeah, you like
15, 16 rebounds a game, like literally. So like Nick Kroll alone, they didn't even need Latrell. They were gonna have rebounding. You know, now Nick doesn't have to play the entire game. So I think that they have people that they can plug in. And then you got Lonzel Mason, who's just experienced, that knows how to talk to people, that knows how to put people in their spots, that knows how to call out defensive matchups, that knows how to pester other people from the sideline. Like, I think that they just got everything that they need. And then Cortez Baines, I haven't seen him excel in this league yet, but when you play for a team like the Warriors and everybody else is playing well, it's going to make your job 10 times easier. So, like, and not even, we ain't going to talk about Brooks. Like, it's this team, this is the team to beat, if you ask me. Obviously, the Spurs is the team to beat because they're returning, but I don't see how you match up with this Warriors.
Yeah, I could definitely see a rematch, man. Brody definitely can shoot, man. Aaron always been kind of like a do everything player.
Except score.
Wow. So, hey, my guy, you need to get back on the scoring because
He don't
had
shoot
that.
the ball, man.
Yeah. You know, Brooks being a coach's son, he's gonna have that team mindset. Lonzel, like you said, man, he definitely is put a person in the type of proper place. And then Tyree, captain, coach. This is a nice whip right here.
Yeah, I like this team set up. If I were a coach and you gave me these guys, I'm having a field day. Like, if you told me to coach this team and make lineups for this team and make schemes for this team defensively and offensively, this is the team I'd want to do it with. So from a coach's mindset, this is the dream team. The Spurs is the second on the list for me.
First for me, man.
Yeah, Spurs is the
rematch
second
for
on the list
sure.
me.
Though.
I definitely see these two teams being that. But also the only other team I see being able to compete with them if they show up and if they're cohesive is the Sixers. But even then, like I said, with the Warriors winning without having a big man necessarily, well, they did with Latrell, but now that they have that rebounder and two of them at that, and an interior defender, three of them with interior defender. Who's the third? Quartet. Like they'll always have a rebounder. They'll always have an interior presence. It's going to be hard to match up with these guys. You still got to go out there and play ball, and it's only one ball. So as long as they play basketball the correct way and move the ball like it's supposed to, I don't see them losing but one game maybe.
It's great. Yep.
Spurs. It's the only team I see beating them. Because just not, and it wouldn't even be because I think that the Spurs are more talented or I think the Spurs are just better than them naturally. I called it with the Sixers on that first game of the season last year. What did I say? The Sixers are going to win because of resolve. It had nothing to do with skill. The Sixers just wanted to win because they just wanted it more than they did. And I think that the Spurs are going to hear this. And I think they're going to be like, oh, y'all always on the Warriors. Y'all always saying that they this. Y'all always saying that they that. But we beat them last year. So I think that the Spurs are going to, like Michael Jordan, I took that personal. And they're going to go out there and give them everything they got.
The Spurs has always had the Warriors number, but I think with these new additions, the Warriors got more intensity on defense.
It's tough.
So
It's tough.
They took that great team from last year and improved it, which didn't seem possible, but they did.
Like Harry Marshall didn't even show up for half of their games last year. But when he showed up, he was an impact. He was an impact. How you feel, Mr. Peoples, about this Warriors roster?
I mean, they are the best team on paper, right? So, I mean, we all can agree or to disagree on that. And like I am every season, I say whoever the champion, they the champion to someone knock them off. So I mean, hey, Spurs are the
Spurs
champion.
seem to be.
But let me tell you something. Them Warriors, that's something different, bro. Like honestly, bro, you don't see teams put together like that, bro.
You don't.
And then you add Trail. Come on, bro. Like
And then-
you got to be realistic with this stuff. Like Trey will have to really come out of retirement when they play. Like
Yeah.
because like that's crazy.
Yeah, Trey Johnson. That you know what? That's actually that's one of the smartest things I've heard today. If Trey Johnson played like the Trey Johnson that we knew when he first got to this league, that's the best chance they got.
Because I just
Especially
I don't see, bro. I really don't see, cause they're good. Warriors are good defensively. Like they're like Miko locks in, Brooks locks
He
in,
got Miko. Like
and you got shooters, bro. Like you got
everywhere.
You got Brody, a shooter, Miko, shooter.
Brody is the UPS man for our job.
Man,
Brody, I seen Brody 2 days
That's
in a row.
my guy. Yeah.
And then you got,
No,
I
Brody
mean,
for a
Harry,
while.
Harry and Tone not gonna be there all the time, but they're gonna get their games in, so they'll be there for the playoff. But even without them, they are
They're
still
nice.
good.
That
Like,
gives Brody a chance to play more. That gives just other people a chance to play more. Like,
I was gonna say,
yeah.
that's my only concern with this team, with the 12-man roster they have, very, very deep 12-man roster that they have, is people getting enough playing time to get into a rhythm.
But they're not gonna
I
show up.
don't even think they're gonna care about that.
That-
Bro.
I
mean, as far-
Tyree
how far
was
is like
kind of
this-
laxed about it. He was like, I'm just, I'm here if they need me.
I
You
mean,
know,
Tyree-
I think
he don't play into
Tyree-
the playoffs.
Tyree gonna be the point guard this year. I think he gonna really like embrace like the point guard role when he, cause I mean we
I
all know
don't
Tyree.
think they're gonna be
You can
upset
score whenever
about.
you want to score.
I don't think it's gonna be upsetting anything about playing time. It's just as far as like just getting to a rhythm. Am I getting enough minutes to get into a rhythm to actually be effective? There's only a few people that just go come in and turn it on and get going.
But I think those guys are the ones that are not going to be there every week. The Harry Marshalls, the Antonio Marshall. Those guys can get it going. They don't have to be there to get it going. Those are the guys that aren't gonna that are gonna be absent. So Brody can get his shots. So Cortez can get his shots. So Brooks is gonna get his shots. No
Like
matter
you
what.
can't help.
You can't
can't help.
nobody.
Like with the Spurs, you can help off what like Devin. You know you.
No, you can't help as
off
much.
Devin.
You can help more than the Warriors. We're not gonna say you can't help, but you could it's just more lethal with the Warriors.
Man, it's very lethal. Like I just don't see the Spurs outscoring the Warriors, but I also don't see the Spurs stopping.
Defensively, I think the Spurs can do better than most teams.
So we all in agreement, Spurs, Warriors, and Sixers the dark horse?
No,
I ain't gonna say that. The Bucks
Not
is my
yet.
dark horse.
I gotta see the Kings.
Because the Bucks defensively this year is
I
gonna
gotta
be
see.
nasty.
I gotta see a lot of
Bucks
stuff.
and Knicks will be
The Bucks and Knicks. The
Spurs
Knicks,
still my number one team because they won last year.
yeah,
but-
they gotta be the
Like-
number one. They the team to beat for sure.
But realistically, if I'm picking a team now to win it all, I'm picking the Warriors. I mean, but to
And the 76ers, they're gonna have to show improve because their roster looked well on paper last year and it didn't turn out well. So they're gonna have to show improve.
All right, did we write down our power rankings, guys?
I did.
You write down your power rankings? Did you ever make a list?
No.
I know you can't make a list
I don't know
necessarily because you
enough
don't
of
know
the
everybody.
players.
We'll get your power rankings after week 3.
Yes.
How about that? We're gonna
Yes.
come back week 3 and then we're gonna redo our power rankings.
I got you,
So for
yeah.
every podcast, we just gonna redo our power rankings. So all right, so Cortez, who you got at 1?
Oh man, shit. Spurs.
Who you got at 1?
Warriors,
I got Warriors at 1. All right, who you got at 2?
Warriors.
Spurs.
I got Spurs at 2. Who you got at 3?
Hold on, let me go to my list. Hold
Yeah, I got my list right here.
on. Dang.
Shout out to everybody we just named. I hope we have a really good season. This is our way too early predictions. You don't like what we say? I don't care no more. I'm not playing.
Hoop it up.
Hoop it up, y'all. Ball out. Take it personal. Yell at me at PA if you got to. Get your technical file so you pay that fee.
It's about as quiet as I'm gonna be about you. I'm gonna let you know that right now.
I'm already knowing. As soon as you get to seeing them. Oh, no.
Yeah, man.
My number 3, I got.
Yeah, you got number 3.
On paper, for the roster improvements, 76ers.
I got the Bucks at 3.
Which one is it in?
I'll text it so you know.
No, because I put it in, but I was changing some around.
I mean, I can text the chat so you know
Oh, okay.
which chat to go in.
Yeah,
I just
I
put
think
yo
I just
so
found
you can see it.
yeah, I got it now.
All right,
All right.
Yeah, your third pick was wild on the first one. I said, what?
Yeah. I told you the devil made me do it. I'm gonna give it to the Bucks. I'm gonna give it to the Bucks.
All right, I got Bucks 3. 4, who you got?
I got Bucks 4.
I got the Sixers 4.
I got the Lakers 4.
Who you got 5?
I got the Knicks 5.
I got the Grizzlies 5.
I got the Sixers 5.
All right, who you got 6?
I got the Lakers, but It was tough between Lakers and Grizzlies.
Yeah, 5. So I'm gonna tell y'all right now, my 5 through 8 could be interchanged at any moment. Like I don't really know. That 5 through 8 is just the middle. I just pick 5 through 8 as middle of the pack, and I just put anything for my 5 through 8 necessarily. So I guess the Knicks at 6.
I got Grizz at 6.
Okay, at 7 I got the Lakers. Who you got?
Grizzlies for right now.
I got Kings.
All right, I got 8. I got Kings.
I got Celtics at 8, only because I don't know the Kings. That's why.
Yeah. No, that's fair. That's fair. I know the Kings. I seen them. So, and that wasn't even that whole team.
I'm gonna say I gave it to the Hornets.
Okay. At 9 I got the Celtics.
I got Kings.
I got Knicks.
Okay. At 10 I have the Hornets.
Hornets.
I have Celtics.
And then I think bottom of the list
We got the Wolves at 11 and the Bulls at 12. I think everybody
that's
agree with that.
interchangeable.
Yeah,
So,
that's interchangeable. Yeah. I got Wolves 11 and Bulls 12. That Bulls roster is, they usually have a solid roster every year, and that's just the worst I've ever seen their roster. Like, I just want to know where the scoring is coming from, and that's what they've been known for. They've never been defensive. So, like, now that you took away your scoring, what do you have?
And you never been known for defensive, and you never won. Now you worry about scoring.
And you still not defensive. So how we gonna win?
However, with the Wolves,
Global
it's
one,
just a matter of they can just close games out. If they can close games out, they can easily move up.
That team was like, the Wolves team looked like playing darts with your eyes closed. Like just the roster itself, like it just doesn't. It just doesn't seem like it was well put together.
Who?
The Wolves. It just doesn't seem like it was strategic. It was seemed like, hey, come on, play with me. Hey, come on, play with me. Hey, I need somebody. Come play with me. You know what I'm saying? And maybe that was the case. You know what I'm saying? But I wish the best for them though. Like I want every team to like do better than what we're saying. But somebody got to be last.
Right. Yeah.
Somebody got to be last.
Like we said last season, we didn't think anybody was gonna have less than 3 wins, but it turned out
They
that
did.
way.
Yeah. And some teams usually overachieve. Like, so now I'm gonna ask this and we're gonna wrap it up.
Are we doing predictions for this week?
Yes, we're gonna do predictions. So as a matter of fact, I'm gonna say this, then we're gonna do predictions and wrap it up. So who do you all think is going to overachieve or underachieve? So I'll go first.
So we answering both of those or
Both.
choose them? Okay.
So pick your overachiever and your underachiever.
Okay.
So me, I have the Lakers overachieving. I think the Lakers are gonna find a way to get it done, because they always do. I think that with them having a small roster that they do, they're not as defensive as I'm used to them being with these guys on this team. But I think they're gonna play with a Pringle on their shoulder. It's like they not gonna play around. But the team I think that's going to underachieve for sure. I hate to say this. I really hate to say this, but it's the Grizzlies. Like I'm not sure. Maybe I'm saying this because I want them to do better. So I'm saying this to motivate them more than anything. But I just don't know where the scoring is going to come from. And that's what's always been the problem with the Grizzlies. The Grizzlies were always top 2 in defense, but always bottom 3 in offense. Adding Mark and KB, they went to the Hornets and they kind of underachieved there. You know what I'm saying? What did we say at the beginning of the season about the Hornets? We thought they were gonna be, oh man, they gonna be this, they gonna be that.
They're gonna be top, we're gonna be
And then they lost to the Bulls. Then they lost to the Bulls in the first round of the playoffs. And then Nick Crow was, say that on the podcast. Say that on the podcast. You know what I'm saying? So it's, you know, so I'm hoping that this motivates them, if anything, when they see this. But I want to see where it's coming from. Jeremiah Mitchell, like I said, was the sleeper last year. Nobody expected him to play as well as he did and as consistent as he did week to week. If he can continue that and Mark Connor can continue to do what he does, and we need KB to be more consistent. I don't think he's been consistent since he's played for the Warriors. Like the Pacers, that first season, he says it doesn't count. Anytime you step on that floor, it counts to me. You know, so
Yeah, I look forward to getting to know all of the individual players and seeing all the teams play. But to be honest with you, underachievement for me will not see the success of the Warriors or the Spurs be what they should be and, you know, be in the championship game. Like, they're tough, both teams.
I think my overachiever is the Lakers because I'm just not gonna count them out with the pieces that they have. They gonna find a way to win games.
they have the MVP. Well, did he win MVP?
Brandon Berry's
Brandon Berry won MVP. Brandon Berry.
26-7.
Yeah, he was a dog last year for sure.
My underachiever is only because they've underachieved the past couple seasons with the rosters they've had is the 76ers. They're gonna have to show and prove to me this year. The roster looks good just like it did last season, but you're gonna have to prove to me this season that y'all gonna be good with this roster because y'all should have won more than what y'all did last season.
And it's crazy because I got the Grizzlies 5th and I got the Sixers 3rd, and it's like, if I picked you 5th, that means I expect you to get some wins. But it's like I can see you also not getting those wins. Like just the same with the Sixers. Like, how you feel, Cortez? Underachiever, overachiever? What you got?
Over Bucks. They're gonna overachieve. They're gonna win a lot of games this year.
Yeah. I agree.
And I want to say this loud and clear.
Uh-oh. You finna say the Spurs.
My underachievers are. You right.
I knew it.
I believe there's still a lot of teams. There are teams in the league this year that can score with them. Like I do believe that. Like it's gonna come down to defense. But I do believe like the Hornets. If they're clicking, like the Hornets can score.
Hornets can score the ball.
Like the Kings. Like I still think like it's teams that can still
That Kings team is gonna overachieve
match
too.
scoring wise.
I think so.
It's gonna come down to defense. So yeah, I don't think they're gonna get out of some of those. Now, am I saying that they won't achieve in the playoffs? That's exactly what I'm saying. I'm saying like they're gonna underachieve. So yeah, there you go.
Yeah, so what's underachieving? Making it to the championship and losing?
Second round.
So also not making it to the final day is underachieving for them? So if they don't make the final four, that's underachieving?
Yeah.
Okay, so
I would
if
say
they win their first game, so are they gonna get the top 4 seed, you think?
I believe so.
I think they're gonna make
I think
it.
so.
Think they're gonna get they're gonna get the bye. So they gotta win that game on the first day. If they don't win that game on the first day,
We talking about Sunday?
yeah. No, I'm talking about like in the playoff.
yeah.
So if they don't make it to the final day,
It's a
that's
failed
underachieved. That's a failed season for
season.
them.
Failed season.
Oh, most definitely.
Okay.
Yeah.
They're championship
Okay,
contenders.
so that's underachieving for them for sure. I think underachieving for the Grizzlies is not.
Like I think it's gonna be tough for them Sunday. If the Hornets come in the Hornets come in the hoop, like it's gonna be. I mean, it's gonna be tough because like they have scores.
They
too.
have
You know,
Brian Hernandez is a bucket.
Right, I'm not taking anything away from Puda.
Yeah.
Puda is a natural
He's a
scorer. I'm
dog.
not taking nothing away from Dennis.
That's why I need to play better too.
But you gotta listen to. You got a Puda and a Dennis, but then you got a team like the Warriors that got a Tyree, a Miko, a Books. They just have.
What are you
more.
gonna do?
Like, so I mean, it's nothing against them. It's just, I mean,
They just
put
got
the ball in the basket. That's all I'm gonna say.
Yeah.
Like y'all said, I'm just here to give my opinion.
Hey, that's
So
our
don't-
job.
So don't cry to me.
Or cry to me. I'm not gonna care.
Like,
Like I said, I'm not playing no more. I'm gonna have fun with this. I'm putting all my work
at
into
the
the
end of the
league.
day,
Warriors looking like the 2013 Heat team and everybody was just joining.
Oh yeah, yeah.
because at the end of the day, I don't care about none of y'all winning. But I'm gonna give my opinion about who I think will win. But, you know, whatever. But anyway, yeah.
All right.
Those my underachievers.
So let's get to this week 1 predictions. This is our favorite part right here. So, well, my favorite part, I'm gonna say. I'll speak for myself. So the 2 brand new teams, we have the Kings and the Wolves. Who y'all got? Who'd you guess, Brian?
Based off what you were saying about the Kings, I got the Kings on this one.
Hey, I got the Kings for sure. By 10 plus.
I got Kings.
All right,
Kings, yeah.
for sure. All right, Bulls Warriors.
Warriors.
I got the Warriors.
Probably in
I
blowout
got the
fashion.
Warriors by 30.
First game by 30?
Yeah, it's gonna be blowout
win
fashion.
about 30, but I know the Warriors are gonna put up 80.
They gonna put up they might put up 100.
I'm saying championship loss.
There's no defense.
Statement game. Yeah.
There's no team defense. You have individual defenders maybe, but I don't know if they gonna play together defensively. Then you got the Sixers and the Grizzlies. You got
I got high hopes for 76ers, so I'm coming out with 76ers first.
who you got, Cortez?
I'm-
This one's tough. I don't know how the Grizzlies are gonna jump out. I haven't seen these guys play together. And defensively, we know the Grizzlies always show up. So it's like if they can keep the Sixers from scoring.
Go to James first.
I think I'm gonna pick. I think I'm gonna pick the Grizzlies for this game. I think that Brandon is gonna be scoring, but you know they're gonna make it tough for him. It's gonna be uncomfortable shots.
I agree. Brandon last year gave us work. I'm not gonna lie. I think he gave us 28. He went 10 for 18. I'll be remembering, trust me.
they don't need a lot
I'll
of
be
that.
remembering when people get their buckets.
But shout out to Brandon though. They're gonna need a lot of that.
I'm gonna go. I think the Sixers are just gonna edge the Grizzlies in a close game.
So it's up to me now, huh?
Yeah, I think the Sixers are gonna edge them close.
I'm gonna go with. Oh man, cause you don't know if James is gonna be there.
That's what I'm saying. If everybody shows up, give me the Sixers.
That would be cool for James to go against his old team.
Yeah. Cause where's the size? I don't know if Chris is gonna be there. Chris.
All right, I'm gonna just go with Philly.
All right.
I'm gonna just go with Philly.
So we have the Hornets and the Spurs. That's gonna be a good game.
Wah, 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 wah. Upset alert! Upset alert!
Ring
Upset
ceremony
alert.
for the Spurs. I can't lose it.
They can't lose, man. They can't lose.
Quill and Puda gonna be chirping back and forth.
They gonna throw them texts out, boy. They gonna little tease
I'll go last.
again. Ah,
You already know where I'm going.
Unless the Hornets control the pace of the game against them, I really just see, you know, the Spurs going crazy.
the Spurs are a good half-court team, though. Believe it or not, they're not a bad half-court team. That's the one thing about them that I like. The fact that they play. No team plays better on the break than the Spurs. Than to me. On the break, the Lakers probably the only team that plays better in the fast break than the Spurs do. But the Spurs, when they get in transition and they get a lead, they hold that lead better than most teams do. The Warriors allow teams to come back. I've noticed that because they get laxed, they get chill. But with this new Warriors roster, maybe not. But I think this is going to be a better game than people give it credit for. I think that Brian Hernandez and Puda is going to be a very fun matchup to watch. But this is going to come down to how many minutes is played by Otis. I don't think I think the Spurs knowing Otis, you know what I'm saying, and they're going to attack him. They're going to try to get him out of the game or try to force him to feel like he needs to be in this game. I just don't know. I'm going to go Spurs.
Well,
I pick Spurs. Yeah. Ring ceremony.
I'm going to go Spurs.
I didn't say that.
Bucks and Knicks.
I
Bucks.
ain't picked mine yet.
Oh, you didn't? Oh, yeah, you want to go last. Go ahead, Spurs and Hornets.
I guarantee.
Oh, that means you finna lose. Anytime he say that,
He won that last one he did when he did guarantee.
he did.
Yeah.
So he won for 100. 100.
Mm-hmm.
That man is 1%.
I am picking the Hornets by 2
Specific.
because Darian Bosby has always had good games against the Spurs.
You are right. You are right about that. I think he.
And now you got to worry about Dan Bosby, Brian Hernandez, and like I'm going off of good intel about Keanu Lane,
Mhm.
like, and he's 6'3", like he's a like. Listen, like I'm gonna go to upset.
I can't wait for Sunday. I can't.
Somebody
wait
gotta
for
do
Sunday.
it, so I'm gonna do it because I ain't okay. So
I can't wait, y'all. I'm excited. I ain't gonna lie. I feel like a kid in the kid.
I think Mo gonna bully Devin.
Think so.
Yeah, I think Mo gonna bully Devin. I think
If the
Ronnie gonna hit some.
Man, I'm taking the over on Otis.
I think Ronnie gonna hit some
Taking the
game
over.
time shots.
If the Spurs lose this game, that's gonna wake them up early to win out the rest of the season.
You think they're gonna
every time-
lose this and then win everything?
Every time they lose a game, they win out the rest of the season.
That's
So-
true. Last year, didn't last 2 seasons ago, or was it last season? They lost the first game and then won the rest of them.
It's different this shit though. These teams are different.
These teams they're pretty good. The bad teams are terrible, but the decent teams are good. Like any team that's any decent is a good team. I think any team can beat any team on any given night if you know what I'm saying. They play well, like they play like they're supposed to.
Oh, last one.
Yeah, we got the Knicks. No, we got 2 more left. We got the Knicks and the Bucks. I'm gonna go Bucks on this one. I'm excited to see defensively how they gonna lock up. This is the best defensive team I've seen the Bucks have, and they've made it happen without having a high defensive team for all of these years.
Oh yeah, I'm going Bucks.
I'm gonna go Bucks.
Tough.
Bucks the better defensive team. I think that
Bucks score team.
I think the Bucks will be first time
I'm
running
rooting for
behind
the
this
Knicks to pull an upset. Not gonna hold you.
It's LJ.
LJ gonna drop 25.
That's if he comes.
That's it. If he don't come, by far the
See, I
Bucks.
know Milwaukee gonna be there.
The
Like
Bucks-
I know
they
they're
gonna be there.
players.
They
The
gonna
Bucks gonna win this game if he don't show up. But if the Knicks, have LJ, I like his chances. I like him to score 25 in that game.
They got some.
I mean, LJ can give him 30 if he wanted to, but defensively, I mean, it
He can
depends.
get 30. Rest of the team can have 2. Bucks gonna win.
I think Bucks on this one.
All right, last game: Celtics and Lakers.
Lakers.
I'm gonna go.
Oh,
Just because I like their jerseys, man.
Don't do
I
I want to see how JJ plays though.
do. JJ is not gonna play till week 3 though. Week 4.
Nah,
He's not gonna play
talking
the
about
week
the other JJ.
I'm talking about
Wood.
Oh, okay.
Jordan.
I got the Lakers. I got the Lakers. When the Celtics are down, they never come back. They never bounce back into games. They don't fight or climb. They kind of get defeated, and their personnel, they don't have anybody. The toughest player on their team is John Chepkovich.
I'm a real life Lakers fan, so I always want to see the Lakers win. Lakers.
Yeah, John Chepkovich is the most tough-minded guy they got on their team.
Because
Well, no, J.K. Boss. He's definitely the most tough-minded
the
guy.
Ring brothers haven't showed up for me yet, and I hope they show
I
up. This
really
game.
do.
I gotta go for the Lakers. I just have to, because I mean, they're a proven winners. So I mean, but Josh Archer gonna hit 2 3.
Yeah, I'll take the over on him. Over 1.5. He gonna get in, knock it, and one of them gonna be volleyball line.
Yeah.
I got Coach. But it's probably gonna be when the score they down 15 or something. You think it's gonna be in the heat of the game? Because he did that before. He knocked it down in the heat of the game and they won. Like he gave them the spark they needed. Shoot,
It could be.
like Matt Cunningham did in that first game of the Final Four. But all right, guys. So the consensus was we got the Kings over the Wolves. We have the Warriors over the Bulls. I think we split with the Grizzlies and the Sixers.
I think so, yeah.
I think you said Grizzlies. You said Sixers.
That's Sixers.
You said Sixers. So we got the Sixers over the Grizzlies. We have the Spurs over the Hornets,
3-1.
3-1. We got the Bucks over the Knicks, and we got the Lakers over the Celtics. All right. Well, guys, thank you for listening. Hope we made you mad enough to show us we wrong.
Can't wait to see everybody game.
Yeah, I just
Yeah,
hope.
if I am wrong.
I mean, I don't care. I hope we are wrong about some of this stuff. Like, show me I'm wrong. You know what I'm saying? Take it personal.
We want to see good.
You know what I'm
games. Take it
saying?
personal.
And we all excited for week 1. We all excited to see what y'all got. We all excited to see what y'all got to bring. Shout out to Mr. Brian Shabron. Shout out to my boy Jonathan Muhammad. And shout out to Mr. Peoples, Man of the Peoples, Cortez Peoples. This is Walter Hudson III. And don't forget the third.